Okay, so in last class, we discussed about how to find the failure rate, failure density, reliability, probability of failure, etc. We have also discussed about a number of concepts like what is the relationship between reliability and failure rate, reliability and uh, failure density. Um, Also, what is the uh, cumulative value of failure density from first interval to the last interval, etc. So I am going to show some important points, especially four important points that we discussed in the last class. Please note, in last classes, we discussed about uh, the delta t equal to 1 case where the duration length of interval is delta t is equal to 1 that we discussed in the last class. Okay. So in last class, one important concept we discussed is the sum of failure density from first time interval or first duration to the last duration L is equal to 1. That is sigma 1 to L Fd equal to 1 means first duration to last duration, that is Fd1 plus Fd2 plus etc plus Fdl is equal to sigma 1 to L Fd equal to 1. This one is the first important concept that we discussed in the last class. Okay. Then next important concept, that is reliability. So reliability for ith hour, for convenience we can write it as for tth hour. Reliability for the tth hour is R of t is equal to 1 minus fd1 plus fd2 plus etc plus fdi, that is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I fd. Okay. So please note, here I am using t, here I am using I. If delta t is equal to 1, in previous classes I told you, if delta t is equal to 1, then both duration number or serial number and time both are equal. So t is equal to I. So both are integer because delta t is equal to 1, both are integer. So t is equal to y or I is equal to t here. So reliability for reliability after tth hour R of t is equal to 1 minus fd1 plus fd2 plus etc plus fdi is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I fd. Okay. Now reliability, if we have reliability, we can easily calculate probability of failure. Probability of failure for tth hour is equal to 1 minus R of t. So the probability of failure after the ith interval or after the tth hour, both are correct. That is, if you want, actually f of I is cumulative failure. If you want probability of failure, just write p of fi, that is equal to fd1 plus fd2 plus etc plus fdi, that is equal to sigma 1 to I fd. Here if you want, you can write it as t. I told you if delta t is equal to 1, then both I and t are same. So probability of failure for a time t, if somebody is asking with respect to time, probability of failure after tth hour, p of f of t is equal to fd1 plus fd2 plus etc plus fdi equal to sigma 1 to I fd. So this one is probability of failure after ith interval or tth time. Both are same. Okay. I equal to t. Now another important factor that we discussed is hazard rate. So the failure rate, hazard rate for ith hour means ith duration. Here hour is not important. Ith duration is set of I is equal to 2 into R of I minus 1 minus R of I divided by R of I minus 1 plus R of I. Set of I is equal to 2 into R of I minus 1 minus R of I divided by R of I minus 1 plus R of I. So here in previous case I told you, if delta t equal to 1, both time and interval both are same, t equal to I. So at that point we can write this one as 2 into R of t minus 1 minus R of t minus R of t divided by r of t minus 1 plus r of t. Both are same. Both are same. Okay. Then we discussed about one more relationship, that is how to calculate failure rate from number of survival. R of Z of I is equal to number of failure during a particular interval, that is f of I divided by s of I minus 1 plus s of I divided by 2. Okay. So these are the important concepts that we discussed in the last class, where delta t is equal to 1. Okay. Now if delta t not equal to 1, if the time interval delta t is not equal to 1, then we have to change all equation. So before showing the analytical equation, I am giving some concept that you can easily remember. First one, failure density and failure rate. Please go through the statement or the definition that I had given. Both failure density and failure rate, both are defined for unit interval. Both are defined for unit interval. So the equation that we derived is corresponding to delta t equal to 1. That is, for example, if it is failure density, fd is equal to f by n is for delta t equal to 1. If delta t is not equal to 1, we have to convert that equation for unit interval, that is failure density fd is equal to f by n into delta t, because failure density is defined for unit interval. So we have to divide f by n with delta t. So we have fd is equal to f by n into delta t. That you have to remember. This one is one important concept. If delta t is not equal to 1, if you are calculating failure density, you have to include delta t in denominator. Okay. Now in previous slide, we discussed about the cumulative failure density, the sum of failure density from first interval to last interval. Okay. So if delta t is not equal to 1, we have to modify that equation. So the sum of failure density from first time interval to last interval is equal to 1, means sigma 1 to L fd into delta t is equal to. Okay. So here you can see, you can remember another important concept. Wherever we have fd, wherever fd is used to calculate the sum of failure density or reliability or probability of failure, etc., wherever we are using fd to calculate the sum of failure density or reliability or probability of failure, you have to multiply fd with delta t. You can easily remember that. Please remember, wherever we are using fd for the calculation of sum of failure density, the reliability or probability of failure, you have to multiply fd with delta t. So this is one case, sigma 1 to L fd into delta t is equal to 1. Now the next one is reliability. The reliability for, so here we can use, please note here t is not equal to I. T is not equal to I. So reliability after ith interval or tth hour, where t is not equal to 1. Please note that. The reliability after tth hour or ith interval is equal to, so this is R of t, not R of I, R of t is equal to, that is after tth hour, R of t is equal to 1 minus fd1 plus fd2 plus etc. plus fdi into delta t. So what's the difference? Reliability after tth time. But here I am using I. Tth time means ith interval. After ith interval. So we have to add failure density from first interval to the ith interval, where ith interval is corresponding to tth hour, where t is not equal to I. T is not equal to I, but t is corresponding to ith interval. So R of t is equal to 1 minus fd1 plus fd2 plus etc. plus fdi into delta t equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I fd into delta t. R of t is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I ft into delta t. So you can see that ft is multiplied with delta t. Now probability of failure. Always remember probability of failure is 1 minus r of t. Probability of failure after ith interval or tth hour. So please note after ith interval or tth hour where I is not equal to t, that is p of f of I if we are representing probability of failure with respect to interval, or tth hour if you are representing with respect to t. Probability of failure equal to fd1 plus fd2 plus etc plus fdi into delta t, that is equal to sigma 1 to I fd into delta t. What is probability of failure? If delta t equal to 1, probability of failure is the sum of failure density from first interval to the current interval. If delta t is not equal to 1, we have to multiply the above sum with delta t. So fd1 plus fd2 plus etc plus fdi into delta t. That is equal to sigma 1 to I fd into delta t. Is it okay? Okay. Now what about failure rate? Failure rate or hazard rate? Not for ith hour, for tth hour. For tth hour failure rate or hazard rate. For tth hour, actually this statement is not correct. The failure rate is with respect to the interval. So failure rate or hazard rate for ith interval. For ith interval. For ith interval. Please note the failure density and hazard rate are for interval. It is interval based data. Sum of failure, reliability, probability of failure, number of failure, etc. are time based data. Or please remember that important concept. So failure rate or hazard rate for ith interval, that is set of I is equal to f of I divided by delta t into s of phi minus 1 plus s of phi divided by 2. That is number of failure for ith interval divided by delta t into survival before number of survival before the ith interval plus number of survival after the ith interval divided by 2. Set of I is equal to f of I divided by delta t into s of I minus 1 plus s of phi divided by 2. Now, what is the relationship between failure rate and reliability? If delta t is equal to 1, in previous slide I told you set of I is equal to what we have 2 into r of t minus 1. I told you it is not I minus 1, t minus 1, where t is equal to I if delta t equal to 1. Minus r of t divided by r of t minus I plus r of t. So this is set of it. The failure rate for ith interval is r2 into r of t minus I minus r of t divided by r of not t minus I, r of t minus 1, this is t minus 1 minus r of t divided by r of t minus 1 plus r of t, not I, r of t minus 1 minus r of t divided by r of t minus 1 plus r of t, if delta t equal to 1. If delta t not equal to 1, then instead of 1, why it is 1? Because delta t equal to 1. If delta t not equal to 1, we have to replace this 1 with delta t. Okay. So if delta t not equal to 1, for this particular case, the relationship between z of I and r of t is equal to 2 into r of t minus delta t minus r of t divided by delta t into r of t minus delta t plus r of t. Set of I is equal to 2 into r of t minus delta t minus r of t divided by delta t into r of t minus delta t plus r of t. So these are the differences that you have to know if delta t not equal to 1. What are the differences? Failure density ft is equal to f by n into delta t. the sum of failure density up to the last time interval is sigma 1 to L Ft into delta T equal to 1. Reliability for tth hour is R of t is equal to 1 minus Fd1 plus Fd2 plus etc plus Fdi into delta T, that is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I Fd into delta T. Now the probability of failure after ith interval f of I is equal to Fd1 plus Fd2 plus etc plus Fdi into delta T, that is equal to sigma 1 to I Fd into delta T. Then the failure rate or hazard rate for ith interval is set of I is equal to 2 into R of, so ith interval is set of I is equal to f of I divided by delta t into s of I minus 1 plus s of I divided by 2, means number of failure during the ith interval divided by delta t into number of survival before the ith interval, that is s of I minus 1 plus s of I means number of survival after the ith interval divided by 2. Now the relationship between failure rate and reliability is set of I is equal to 2 into R of t minus delta t minus R of t divided by delta t into R of t minus delta t plus R of t. Is it okay? So now I think we can solve a problem if by using this analytic equation, means we are going to consider a failure data where delta t not equal to 1. So before that, please note down this table. This table summarizes the analytic equation that we have to use if delta t equal to 1 and if delta t not equal to 1. So I am reading this table. If delta t equal to 1, then failure density is Fd equal to F by N, reliability is R of t is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I Ft, probability of failure is P of Fi, please note P of Fi is equal to sigma 1 to I Fd, hazard rate is set of I is equal to F of I divided by S of I minus 1 plus S of I divided by 2, where S of I minus 1 is the number of survival after I minus 1th interval. S of I is this number of survival after I. Now if delta t not equal to 1, failure density is Fd is equal to F by N into delta t, reliability is R of t is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I Fd delta t, probability of failure, that is P of F of I, please note not F of I, P of F of I is equal to, or P of F of t is equal to sigma 1 to I Fd into delta t, hazard rate set of I is equal to F of I divided by delta t into S of I minus 1 plus S of I divided by 2. Hazard rate is equal to, set of I is equal to, set of I is equal to F of I divided by delta t into S of I minus 1 plus S of I divided by 2. Okay. So now we are going to consider a problem. So note down this table 4. So the first column shows the time interval, second column shows the number of failure. Please note this failure, this one is showing a failure test, but please note this failure test is not completed. It is continuing actually. We are showing a part, to explain that delta t not equal to 1. We are showing a part of failure test. Actually the initial population, or here we are considering number of specimens are 1000. We are considering 1000 safety valves. 1000 safety valves are tested, and the table 4 shows a part of failure data of that 1000 safety valves. We are testing 1000 safety valves. So what is n equal to, what is initial population n? Initial population n is 1000. Initial population n is 1000. Okay. So now here we have to draw one more column. We can draw two columns. First one is left side, draw one more column, that is duration. So duration means this is 0th duration. This is 0 to 4 time interval, that one is the first duration. 4 to 8 time interval, that one is the second duration. Then 8 to 12 time interval, that one is the third duration. Then 12 to 16 time interval, that one is the fourth duration. Now 16 to 20 time interval, that one is the fifth duration. Now 20 to 24 time interval, that one is the sixth duration. Only 6 durations are shown. That is 0 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 12, 12 to 16, 16 to 20 and 20 to 4. It is not showing the remaining one. And I told you this one is not completed. Why? If you are adding this number of failures from first duration to sixth duration, it is not equal to 1000. Means the failure data is not complete. Now we are going to calculate failure density. First we can calculate failure density. If you are calculating failure density, then failure density what is our equation? FD is equal to F by N if delta T equal to 1. So check whether delta T equal to 1 now. 0 to 4 means delta T is not equal to 1, delta T equal to 4. So we need into delta T. So what is first interval? What is this value? FD1. So FD1 corresponding F is 267 divided by N, that is 1000 in this particular case, into delta T is 4, right? So FD1 is equal to, this one is equal to 267 divided by 1000 into 1000 into 4. So equal to what? Equal to we can check the data. 267 divided by 1000 into 4. So we have, if you are using 3 significant digits, this is equal to 0.067, right? So the data is 0.067. So that one is a failure density corresponding to the first duration. Okay. Now failure density corresponding to second duration. So what is that? So we have to replace the numerator because the denominator is always same. Only we have to change the numerator. So what is the numerator? Numerator is corresponding to the second duration. 59, that one is the number of failure. So 59 divided by 1000 into 4. So what we have? 59 divided by 1000 into 4. So we have 0.014. We have if you are rounding the value 0.015. Actually the value is 0.01475. If you are using 3 significant digits, FD corresponding to the second duration is 0.015. Okay, 0.015. So this entry is 0.015. 0.015. Okay, so now we can find FD corresponding to the third duration. For third duration, number of failure is 36. So here 36 divided by 1000 into 4. So what is the value? 36 divided by 1000 into 4. That is 0.009. 0.009. That one is the value. Now corresponding to the fourth duration, number of failure is 24. So what is the failure density? 24 divided by 1000 into 4. 24 divided by 1000 into 4. That is 0.006. 0.006. Okay. Now corresponding to the fifth duration, number of failure is 23. So what is the failure density? 23 divided by 1000 into 4. That is 0.00575. So if you are using 3 significant digits, we can write it as 0.006. Now corresponding to the sixth duration, number of failure is 11. So what is failure density? 11 divided by 1000 into 4, that is 0.00275. So if you are rounding the value to 3 significant digits, 0.003. Okay, so this is failure density. Now what is the next thing we need? The failure rate or hazard rate. Alright. So hazard rate. In order to calculate hazard rate, we need number of survival. Am I correct? We need number of survival. So here we are going to write S. S means number of survival. Okay. S means number of survival. So number of survival after the 0th duration, that is initial population always, that is 1000. Right? Now after the first duration, during the first duration 267 components are failed. So what is the number of survival after the first duration? That is 1000 minus 267, we have 733. 733. Okay. Now after the second duration, what is the number of survival? 733 minus number of failure during second duration, that is 59. 733 minus 59, we have 674. We have 674. Okay. Now after the third duration, the number of survival is 674 minus 36. 36 the number of failure during the third interval. So number of survival after third duration is 638. 638. Now after the fourth interval, number of survival is 638 minus 24. We have 640. 640. Then after the fifth interval, number of survival is 614 minus 23. So we have 591. 591. Then after sixth duration, the number of survival is 591 minus 11. So that is 580. 580. So that one is the number of survival after the sixth duration. So now we are going to calculate failure rate. Failure rate. So failure rate, what is the equation of failure rate? Z is equal to number of failure during a particular interval divided by delta T into Si minus 1 minus Si divided by 2. Okay. So please note delta T and 2 are fixed, only Fi. These two values are changing with respect to the duration. So now take the first duration, that is Z1. What is Z1? Equal to what? So Z1 is equal to, during the first duration, number of failure is 267 divided by delta t is 4, length of duration is 4 into, now what is number of survival before this first duration? That is 1000. Before the first duration means after the 0th duration, number of survival is 1000 plus after the first duration, what is the number of survival? After the first duration, what is number of survival? 733 divided by 2. So what is the value? 267 divided by delta t, that is 4 into Si minus 1 is 1000 plus Si is 733 divided by 2 equal to 0.077034. So if you are using 3 significant digits, this is 0.077. Is it okay? So Z1 is equal to K2 is equal, sorry, Z1 is equal to 0.077. Okay. Now what about Z2? Z2 equal to what? So Z2 means, what about this entries? Z2 is F, corresponding F is 59, number of failure during the second duration is 59. So 59 divided by, now delta T is 4 into, now Si minus 1. What is the number of survival before this second duration? Before the second duration, number of failure is, number of survival is 733. 733 components are survived after the first duration or before the second duration. So that is Si minus 1. Plus, how many components are survived after the second duration? After the second duration, 674 components are survived. So 674 divided by 2. So that is equal to 59 divided by 4 into 733 plus 674 divided by 2. So that is 0.020966. It is continuing. So if you are rounding that to 3 significant digits, the number of the hazard rate corresponding to the second duration is 0.021. 0.021 is the hazard rate corresponding to the second duration. 0.021. Okay. So now we can find the remaining values. Okay. We can find the remaining values. So corresponding to the third duration, number of failure is 36 divided by delta T is 4 into number of failure before the third duration is 674 plus number of failure after the third duration is 638 divided by 2. So that is equal to 0.014. After rounding, 0.014. That one is hazard rate after the third duration. Now after the fourth duration, number of failure is 24 divided by 4 into number of failure before the fourth duration is 638 plus number of failure after the fourth duration is 640 divided by 2, that is 0.009584. So we can write it as 0.010 after rounding. We can write it as 0.010. Now after the fifth duration, the failure rate is 23 divided by 4 into, now number of survival after the before the fifth duration is 614 plus number of survival after the fifth duration is 591 divided by 2. So we have 0.00954, means again we can write it as 0.010. Okay. So now after the sixth duration, during the sixth duration, failure rate is 11 divided by 4 into, now number of survival before the sixth duration is 591 plus number of survival after the sixth duration is 580 divided by 2. So what we have, 0.004696. So we can write it as 0.005. So this one is a hazard rate corresponding to this term. Is it okay? Now if you want, you can find reliability also. In two different ways you can calculate reliability. In two different ways. I am going to show the first entry only. Okay. So if you are writing reliability, so one more column is required, that is reliability. Okay. So after the first duration or after the first time, reliability is 1 by, what is reliability? Reliability R of t is equal to S of I, number of survival after the ith duration divided by capital N, initial population. So after the ith duration or after the ith time, number of survival is 1000 divided by initial population is 1000. So we have 1000 by 1001. Now that is not important. Now take the next one. After time equal to 4, after t equal to 4, what is reliability? So that is equal to after t equal to 4, means R of t equal to 4, means after the first interval, what is reliability? Equal to, after the first interval, number of survival is 133, number of survival is 733 divided by 1000. So this is equal to 0.733. So reliability after t equal to 4 or after the first interval is 0.73. This is one method. We can use one more method. What is that? R of t is equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I fd. 1 to I fd. So equal to what? For example, for R of t equal to 4, R of t equal to 4 equal to what? 1 minus, now from 1 to I, what is 1? fd1 is 0.067. Okay, I am using a wrong equation, but first I am going to show this one. 1 minus 0.067 equal to what? Equal to 1 minus why I am considering only FD1? Because this one is corresponding to first duration. For first duration, I means 1. So sigma 1 to 1 FD means only one entry. So equal to what? 1 minus 0.067 equal to 0.933 equal to 0.933. 0.933. You can see that this value and this value are entirely different. Means this calculation is wrong. What is the wrong? Why it is wrong? Because delta t not equal to 1. If delta t not equal to 1, then here we need one more thing, delta t. We need delta t also. Okay, so don't forget that, otherwise you will have a wrong value. So if delta t not equal to 1, then r of t equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I ft into delta t. That is r of 4 means after the first duration means r of 4 is equal to 1 minus 0.067 into 4. Please note we have only one value because I equal to 1. So we have to consider this value only, FD1 only. So R of 4 is equal to 1 minus 0.067 into 4. So that is equal to 0.732. 0.732. Again is different. In third significant digit a difference is there. Why? Because you all know that this FD value is a rounded value. All these FD values are rounded. Except this 0.009 and the next 0.006. All other values are rounded. That is why this difference. Okay, so numerical method point of view. I think some students are familiar with numerical method. Numerical method point of view. This one is actually this here. This FD1 has round of error. Now that round of error is propagated here. So here we have a propagation error. Okay, that is why the difference. Actual value is 0.733. Here we have 0.732 because the round of error is propagated. Okay, so minute difference that we can neglect because this type of round of error, propagation error may be carried. Otherwise, large difference means some calculation error is there, some blunder is there. Okay. So please note there is no need to, if we have survival, then there is no need to use this equation. I use this equation to verify, I use this equation to show that both methods are correct. That is R of t equal to S of I divided by n and R of t equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I fd, both are same. In order to show that I use these two methods. Okay. So please use number of survival to calculate reliability. Okay. Then once we have number of survival, then you can use reliability to calculate probability of failure. Once you have reliability, you can use reliability to calculate probability of failure. Okay. Always try to use the better method. Some methods are very easy to calculate. Some methods are not that much easy to calculate. But why we are using that difficult equation? Actually, we are not using that difficult equation. We are using that difficult equation like R of t equal to 1 minus sigma 1 to I fd delta t to derive the continuous function. In order to derive the continuous function, then later in order to relate all function, we need that delta t terms. Okay, then we can integrate that function or etc. So for that purpose, the difficult functions are used. Otherwise, for calculation point of view, better use the easiest, better method. Okay. So I am stopping my class here. Tomorrow we are going to discuss about the bathtub curve. Actually, before bathtub curve, we have to explain mean time to failure if delta t not equal to 1. Actually, we explained that. One more time, I want to explain that mean time to failure. And one more thing I want to show you. If delta t not equal to 1, I want to show the relationship between mean time to failure and failure density. That I want to show. Okay, so today I am going to stop my class.